Promissory estoppel renders an otherwise unenforceable promise binding when a promisee has relied on a promise to her detriment. But the promisee's reliance must be reasonable. In Alden versus Vernon Presley, Elvis Presley dies before making good on his word to pay off his fiancée's mother's mortgage. After the estate quickly disclaims liability, was the mother's reliance on Presley's word reasonable? Jo Alden was the mother of Ginger Alden. Ginger was engaged to the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. Presley made generous gifts to members of Ginger's family, including Jo. Presley funded upgrades at Jo's home, including landscaping and a swimming pool. Jo wanted to divorce her husband, and Presley volunteered to pay for the divorce, including hiring an attorney, advancing funds to acquire Jo's husband's share of the family home, and paying off the mortgage. Jo filed for divorce and executed a property settlement agreement with her husband on August 1, 1977. Under the settlement agreement, Jo would pay just over $5,300 for her husband's share in the home. The agreement also released Jo's husband from liability for the mortgage, which had an unpaid balance of $39,587.66. Although it was executed by the spouses, the settlement agreement remained subject to the court's approval. On August 16th, Presley unexpectedly died, leaving his promise to pay off Jo's mortgage unfulfilled. On August 25th, Presley's estate informed Jo that it wouldn't assume liability for the mortgage. Jo's divorce attorney withdrew, and her divorce action was dismissed for failure to prosecute. Jo refiled for divorce in April of 1978, seeking court approval of the property settlement agreement. The agreement remained in its original form, releasing Jo's husband from the mortgage, and Jo didn't notify the court that Presley's estate had disclaimed liability. In April of 1980, the court approved the settlement agreement and granted the divorce. Jo sued Presley's father, Vernon Presley, who was executor of his estate, seeking payment of the mortgage. The trial court held that Presley's promise was unenforceable. The Court of Appeals reversed, holding that the promise was enforceable under promissory estoppel. The estate appealed to the Tennessee Supreme Court.